number one in the league in yardage, in passing yardage. The quarterbacks, we know Julio Jones, we know the receivers, and quarterback Matt Ryan's playing great. So.
Nothing really. My thing is just to be ready for anything.
What up, Falcons Nation? Rise Up Nation. It's your boy, Jazzy Jeff. Real talk, no gimmicks. Bring you that real Falcons talk to real Falcons fans. And I'm back at you with another edition of Know Your Opponent, where instead of breaking down the Falcons, I break down our opponent, what we need to know about them, and how do we defeat them, what are their strengths and what are their weaknesses. Now, if you're new to my channel, welcome, and hit that subscribe button so you can get future content. Now, before I go into this video, I want to discuss a little on the Vic Beasley being on the trade block deal. Now, what happened to Vic Beasley? Obviously, in 2016, he was the NFL sack leader. Matter of fact, he was second place in sacks up until week 14, and then he ended up surpassing Von Miller. Now, this is my opinion and my theory about what I think happened, because this is what I saw watching him. Vic Beasley got away with speed rushes, and teams did not know at first how to pick up on how he rushed. But once they watched tape, they forced Vic Beasley to add more moves, and he could not. Once he got stuck around the edge, tackles were forcing Vic Beasley out of the play by pushing him around the corner. So when Vic Beasley couldn't bend around the corner to beat a guy off of just a pure speed rush, he did not have the strength to fight back inside. He did not have the spin move or the swim moves to cut back inside. And he kind of just gets stuck there. And his numbers just significantly dropped after that year. And I think he lost his confidence. And now look at him. He's already on the trade block in, 3 years? That's sad, man. I think he could do better if he has an entire defense around him. But the team we have right now, he's not going to be good. He needs a whole squad around him to be productive as he used to be. So he's never going to reach that form again. But if we do trade him, I think we can get at least a fifth rounder maybe for him. I know a lot of people are trying to get Von Miller, but we have to realize that Von Miller is probably going to cost a lot of money. And I don't think the Broncos are going to give him up. We're going to have to give up a lot of picks to get Von Miller because he's still in his prime. So Falcons fans, don't get too excited about that whole Von Miller rumor. It'd be a great idea, though. Anyways, back to the video. The LA Rams, they are 3-3, and they've been struggling lately. They actually got whooped by the Buccaneers, which is kind of scary because we still haven't played the Buccaneers yet. But they're 3-3. They run a 3-4 defense just like us. They're 24th in points allowed, and they give up 25 points a game. They just put their safety, Josh Johnson, on IR. He's a pretty good starting safety. I also have Eric Weddle back there. Then they have also had the rookie Taylor Rapp at safety as well. Obviously, they just traded for Jalen Ramsey. They gave up 2 first-rounders and a 4th or 5th-round pick, I believe. Aqib Talib is on IR, so he's not going to play. And then, obviously, they just traded Marcus Peters to the Ravens. So most likely they just have Jalen Ramsey and backups, so that should bode well for us, even though Jalen Ramsey is a great player. They allow 105 rushing yards on the ground. That bodes well for Devontae Freeman, who's coming on strong. And I gotta apologize to Devontae Freeman because I knocked him in the beginning of the season, but when credit is due, I give credit. And every single game Devontae Freeman has played, his yards and his numbers have gotten better. So hopefully he can keep that up and pass 100-yard mark rushing in this game, because ever since they got rid of Ndamukong Suh, the Rams' interior run defense has not been that good. And once you put that double, triple team block on Aaron Donald, it's a lot easier to contain the other guys. So it's been a lot harder with the Rams this year. All they have is Donald and Brockers, and Suh helped a big deal. So now they're giving up over 100 rushing yards on the ground. That's something that bodes well for us. But that's not to take the Rams lightly, because they have Clay Matthews from the Packers. A lot of people thought Clay Matthews was washed up, and obviously the Packers didn't want to play him, so he went to the Rams and he got his big payday. But Clay Matthews is now 5th in the NFL in sacks. He's tied for 5th in sacks. He has 6. Now, to put that in perspective, the Atlanta Falcons as an entire team on the season have 5 sacks. Clay Matthews by himself has 6 sacks. If that doesn't scream that we need to retool and revamp our defense, I don't know what does for you. That is pitiful. Clay Matthews, a guy who's in my opinion, past his prime, has more sacks than our entire fucking team. That is embarrassing. I told y'all, but whatever. That's for another day. Let's go to the offense. Todd Gurley's been struggling of late, but he has picked it up in the rushing touchdown department. Their backup, Malcolm Brown, is doubtful for this game with an injury, and he's actually their goal line back. And he's been vulturing Todd Gurley's touchdowns all season long. I would know because I have Todd Gurley on my fantasy football team, and I'm kind of pissed off about that. But with that said, the backup to him is the third-string running back is Darrell Henderson out of Memphis, and he's more of a pass-catching back out of the backfield. So look for the Rams to utilize a lot more of, obviously, Todd Gurley as the downhill first and second down back, but Darrell Henderson is going to be out there for those screens and catching checkdowns out the backfield. Something that we got completely exposed with versus the Arizona Cardinals. That dude, Chase Edmonds on the Arizona Cardinals, was killing us with checkdowns and screens out the backfield. There was one play where literally no one was guarding him, and 2 of our players were they backed up deep and were guarding literally nobody. Like, if you saw the replay and they zoomed out, they were literally guarding 0 people. And Chase Edmonds just is standing there by himself. So we have to be able to stop the backs out the backfield, or we're going to lose again. I don't know how many times I got to say this until the Falcons players actually execute the game plan. I wonder how many times Dan Quinn got to say this until they actually execute the game plan. Or is it Dan Quinn? Maybe he's calling really bad plays. I don't know. But all I do know is that Dan Quinn said he's going to take over the defense because he didn't like what Marquand Manuel was doing, and he said Marquand Manuel wasn't aggressive enough, and now we are worse on defense. I also do know that Dan Quinn said he was going to work one-on-one with Vic Beasley and improve his pass rushing skills, and Vic Beasley has gotten worse, and now he's on the trade block. So what does that tell you? Coaching. Moving on. The Rams' defense is actually 10th in the league in total defense. So, I'm sorry, their offense is 10th in total offense. Their leading receiver is Cooper Kupp. He has 4 touchdowns and 522 yards. Now, Goff is having a down year, and a lot of people are saying, oh, Goff sucks and he's a bust and blah, blah. But I've noticed that it's not about Goff and it's not about Sean McVay. It's about when the running game does not work for the Rams, they struggle to throw the football. When Todd Gurley was running the ball and they hit him that play action and that jet sweep motion, people were biting so hard, and Cooper Kupp and other guys were running free. Now that Gurley is not getting a steady dose like he used to be, and his knee ain't the same and he don't look the same, it's easier to not bite on those play actions, and guys are staying with receivers now, and it's making it a lot harder for Jared Goff to get the ball off, which has led to Jared Goff regressing into more interceptions and more turnovers. Jared Goff is 3rd in the NFL for most interceptions, and he has 4 fumbles on the season. He only has 7 touchdowns on the season, and he averages 270 yards, 87 287 yards passing, sorry. In perspective, Matt Ryan has 15 touchdowns, and he's number 1 in touchdowns. Matt Ryan is number 2 in passing yards, and Matt Ryan is 3rd in passer completion percentage. Now, I don't know who these people are on Twitter that are talking about we need to trade Matt Ryan and Matt Ryan sucks and blah, 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 and he's the problem. Y'all are stupid if you think that. All you got to do is Google. It's 2019. Pick up your goddamn phone, put down Snapchat, and Google Matt Ryan's numbers and put some respect on his name. It is ridiculous to think that. It is clearly the defense why we lose games. So get that through your head and leave Matty Ice alone. He's the only one right now consistently doing his damn job. Sorry, I had to get that off my chest. Anyways, Falcons Nation, what do you think of the keys to this game in stopping the Rams? I think it is stopping Gurley. Don't let him get off to a good start, and putting Goff on his back, forcing the fumbles and interceptions. That's when he throws them. When they can't get the run game going, Jared Goff struggles. And we got to get a lead early to make him throw the football. He's not that great of a passer playing from behind. So the defense has to come through. How are we going to stop Cooper Kupp? Trufant is out again with an injury. Kendall Sheffield had a decent, solid game, and I was very impressed with him. But Isaiah Oliver is still struggling. So what are we going to do? How are we going to stop them? Our zones are not working. We play the weakest zones I've ever seen in this NFL. Our man coverage is slightly better, but it makes us more susceptible to deep passes and holding penalties. That's a problem because we don't get good enough pass rushes to give our corners, less and less time to cover to help them out. We have 5 sacks on the year total. That means we're not getting to the quarterback, which is making Isaiah Oliver cover longer, and he's just not ready and good enough to cover that long in this league. So we have to help him out. Grady Jarrett cannot do this by himself. Deion Jones just became captain of our team, and I don't know why he hasn't been captain this whole season. The guy's a great player. That makes no sense to me. But I expect Deion Jones to have a good game. I expect Grady to have a good game. Tad McKinley, where are you at? You need to step up. I always hear Mad Mike talking when I watch his channel about how we killing Vic Beasley, but we always give Tack a pass. Okay, let's hold them both accountable. They both need to show up. Who else needs to show up? Falcons Nation, you tell me in the comment section below. Who has to show up? Who's been struggling and you have to see him show up this time? Who is it? Devondre Campbell? We already know he ain't going to show up. I have no more faith in Devondre Campbell. I am sorry. I'm waiting for him to be on the trading block, to be honest with you. So I don't have faith in him. Who I want to show up is the coaching and the pass rush. Grady can't do it by himself. Anyways, Falcons Nation, thank you for watching. This has been another segment of Know Your Opponent, LA Rams edition. Let's go out and let's get this win at home to get back on track. Otherwise, the lost season continues. My name is Jazzy Jeff Real Talk. You can catch me on my Twitter, Jazzy Jeff Real T1. And as always, Falcons Nation, we rise up. Peace, y'all.